What's up guys, and welcome back to beautiful old home garage stuff. Today is probably one of the coolest days for the build, and I know I've said it a million times, but we've got a whole slew of awesome stuff from BC and GK Tech, and we're gonna try to tackle as much as we can in the car today, but I don't wanna make any promises because I've got about 5 hours to work on the car, and there's a lot to do.
Special delivery.
How cool is it that in an R32 Skyline, we are delivered a Skyline subframe. Pretty sure I told you guys about powder coating the subframes, but the color came out unreal.
Yes.
Dang. In the photos that he sent me, it almost looked orange, but this is so sick. Some awesome candy for no one to ever see. All right, so to go over everything real quick, there's nothing fancy about these. These are just stock tension rod brackets that we may actually have to cut up, which I just found out to be able to fit a high clearance sway bar. Other than that, this is my front subframe that my friend Andrew Grafton welded and moved my rack forward about 3/4 of an inch. Same thing we did with the S13 to prevent over centering. So that's rad, all powder coated, ready to go. And then on the rear subframe, in addition to it being powder coated, I had Alberto, while I was gone, weld in these GK Tech reinforcement plates that make the subframe much stiffer. So we've got one there, there's one plate here, it's got one under in here, obviously same thing on this side. And if you notice, this is actually an S13 rear subframe, identical to the R32 subframe, except it has a pickup for the tow arm, so we can use a traditional tow arm instead of having to have a flimsy looking Hikis Delete crap. So Tommy's gonna be helping me today, and our goal is to hopefully get the front done, but we're also gonna be, I'll just show you while we're doing it. So unfortunately, I thought we were gonna be able to get everything done today, but I didn't realize that the angle kit from GK Tech doesn't come with a swing arm. So while we're doing all this stuff, I'm gonna try to go get the swing arm powder coated. And I also realized that we're gonna have to use a press to get the bearings out and then swap these hubs over to the other knuckles. So we're gonna wait and try to get, well, I don't wanna say wait, we have to wait to get new bearings in, because it's not just something that's in stock. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to finish the front end today, which is why I said making no promises. Instead of taking it out in one big piece, we have to take it apart in pieces now. That way we can get everything separated into the right people. A lot of people actually swap these cars out for S13 front suspension just because some of the stuff is a pain to work with. I wanted to try the R32 style suspension with the swing arm and everything, just because I'm not too crazy about the suspension on my S13. But in retrospect, I realized how much more simple it is and how much more of a pain this is to work on. But I'm still gonna try it. It's just hard getting a wrench in a lot of these little places, and there's a lot of extra parts. All right, so one of the cool things that we are going to be doing with this is, rather than leaving it all gross and icky, we're gonna use bed liner to protect the inside of the wheel well and try to be a little bit extra with the build. Something I wish I did on my S13 a long time ago, and since we have all the suspension stuff out, it's easy. But this area right in here, if you don't have a super wide track width, the wheel will rub here and here. So the trick is to basically put 2 notches in the pinch weld with like a grinder, and you can just hammer it flat. We're gonna do that before we paint. Ah, it's all in my hair. Clean it out before I hammer it, just to make sure I'm not just sandwiching. Look at that. Almost doesn't even need
Oh, look.
It's crazy, right? Look how nice and professional that looks. Doesn't that look good? That's sick.
It does look pretty good.
My S13 is just all like hammered and squiggly and icky looking. If we're gonna be extra and bedline the wheel wells, we have to make sure we tape all the little holes up. Otherwise, we're gonna get overspray inside the engine bay. So we've been spending quite a bit of time finding all the little holes that go through the engine bay, taping them up, put a bunch of 10mm bolts in any of the threaded holes from the inside. Already got it all clean in here, so when we go and spray, nothing will get through into the engine bay. Still gotta finish that up. All right, so I got everything taped up. Got adhesion promoter on there, ready to spray, except for the fact that we don't have a little paint measuring mixer, so it's gonna have to wait for a little bit until we can go get one of those. But I got it all taped up, hopefully not gonna make a mess. I know I normally don't tape stuff to prevent overspray in my garage, but I'm trying to be considerate. Tommy the master chemist is about to mix up some of the bed liner for me to spray. What kind of bed liner is this stuff?
Owls.
Owls?
Bed liner.
Good old owl. So apparently this stuff's supposed to be pretty durable and not be like super texturized. We're gonna spray it about 40 PSI. I will say, other than my experience with Trevor, this will be my first time actually using a proper like spray gun. I'm kind of excited. It's like a new beginning.
Put some white sediment right here.
Yeah.
And all that's gone. Good.
Why I'm being trusted with this, I don't know. I hope this works well. I hope we stoked if it works well. Yeah. It came out way thicker than I thought, and it kind of, like this, I don't like how big this is because I couldn't really get it up how I wanted it to. I don't know how people spray the undersides of cars, but that came out pretty good. Look, not bad, right? Might need some touch-ups, but.
Oh yeah. No, that's way better than I thought.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like there's some areas like on top of this and stuff. All right, so I have both sides sprayed with the bed liner, all finished. Got pretty nice coverage considering you can't really spray upward with a gun. May seem like a little bit ridiculous and a little bit over the top, but it's gonna be worth it in the long run, especially if I plan to keep this car for any extended period of time. Tomorrow, we're gonna do what we thought we were gonna do in this video, and that is assemble all of the angle stuff, but probably focus on the rear end, assemble the subframe maybe out of the car, and then just install it right in the car. But anyway, we're back to full bore with the Skyline, and then hopefully I will get everything sorted out this week, and we can get to maybe testing this weekend. So fingers crossed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so I lied, that was kind of a trick ending. We read that you're supposed to peel the tape off pretty soon after you spray it, so you guys get to get an idea of what it looks like now with all the tape off. Doesn't it look like a new German car or something like that? So the reason why I went with an actual like kit rather than just using an aerosol can, I tend to not have the best experience with spray paint cans unless it has hardener. So obviously using a gun, it has hardener, so hopefully we'll get a much better end result, and this will actually last and protect the inside of the Skyline.